We learned how to enter JSON data in Snowflake. In particular, we learned how to parse dynamic JSON data or how to upload files, JSON files, and upload them directly into tables. Then we learn how to query this data in all different ways, either directly in place on the JSON hierarchy or a lot of times by flattening, let's say, dictionaries or arrays and applying basic SQL on the exploded rows. Right now, yeah, at the end, it's about time to talk about data modeling. So the main question here is uh, when and based on what exactly you should decide what to store as tabular data and what to separate as hierarchical JSON data. And yeah, we'll start with these two large sections about converting hierarchical to relational data and relational to hierarchical data. And most of the time we'll do this by creating different tables or altering tables, adding a new variant type saving JSON data or the other way around. And yes, we'll continue with JSON to JSON conversions. Many times, the way you saved data as JSON is not appropriate for everything you need, and you may need a different topologies, and you may create a different table with the same JSON, or just create a view. Talking about views, we have different ways here to expose the data that we already saved as JSON dynamically. You don't want to duplicate data, but different data analysts, they may not know about JSON. They may be very comfortable with SQL. And what you can do, for instance, you can transform your JSON data into tabular format and just expose this to them through views, through regular views, secure views, materialized views. We talk about this. In some other cases, the data could be huge and change frequently. So it doesn't make sense to upload it as frequently in tables. What we can do is to access it directly in the stage JSON file. So we can do this. Yeah, you've already seen this that you can run queries directly on staged files. And one other particular case here is that you can create some external tables, but they will act also like views. And they can be created on the top of external stages, yeah, external stage files, yeah, on S3. For instance, yeah, we'll have several demos on an S3 bucket, yeah, public S3 buckets that I'll create for you in a very simple manner just to demo this. And yes, finally, at the end, we will talk about design pattern. So this will be two rather large presentations based just on slideshows. And this is it, guys. Yeah, this should be the last section, big section that I have in this course. So just as a reminder, we started at looking at the JSON files, yeah, directly as a JSON format. Then we started entering JSON data, and we just created dynamically JSON on the fly and used SQL insertions, yeah, with parse JSON using parse JSON. Then we uploaded files, yeah. In practice, you may have large JSON files that you need to upload. We played then with a lot of SQL transformations, and we continued with other queries, JSON parsing, metadata querying, and so on. And at the end, yeah, this is where we are. Yeah, we'll talk about data modeling patterns, techniques, recommendations, and so on.